أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the IU's orientation for the fall 2025 semester. You have been given the blessing of walking on the path of knowledge of Allah and His final messenger. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless you on this journey and to accept it from you and reward you as long as you're on this path. Ameen. In our orientation session today, we will be exploring the concept of mindful learning in the age of distractions. Allah tells us in the Quran, in Surah Al-Mujadila, Allah will raise those who have believed among you and those who were given knowledge by degrees. In Surah Ar-Ra'd, Allah says, indeed, Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. This portion of the verse in Surah Al-Mujadila, it reminds us that belief and attaining knowledge are among two qualities of excellence in a person, and that these are the reasons for a person to excel and be elevated among others. We may not understand why a person is distinguished or stands out among others, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decreased this station due to belief and due to having been given knowledge. Also, Allah affirms in Surah Ra'd that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not change a nation or a people until they have changed what is within themselves. So, my dear brothers and sisters, we must seek change and transformation within ourselves. The transformation should begin within ourselves first, and then Allah will make the transformation easy and accessible. Inshallah. In today's orientation, um, we, we will be going over the following information. Firstly, we will begin with the Chancellor's address to the students, the study material, and the course evaluation. We're also going to go through the dashboard and navigate the course page for your ease. We'll be discussing the study method, the semester cycle, and how you can seek support from the faculty. We're going to talk a bit about the exam centers and the importance of assignments which are coming up. A bit of discussion on how you can manage your time while your studies here at IOU, how you can seek support from the Students Affairs Office and Student Representative Council and the local student committees, how they may be approached and how you can be helped by each. We'll talk a bit about the Students' Code of Conduct and in case of complaints, how you can forward a complaint through the complaint procedure. Towards the end, we are going to have a Q&A session with the SISC officer and inshallah address all the queries that you may have. So I'm sure that you must be familiar with Dr. Bilal Phillips, who is the founder and chancellor of IUU. We're going to be beginning our session with a personal message from him. Dr. Bilal Phillips is a Canadian Islamic scholar. He converted to Islam, and soon after he embarked on his spiritual journey to Saudi Arabia, where he completed his bachelor's in Islamic studies at the University of Al Madina, followed by a master's in Islamic theology in Riyadh. Later, he completed his PhD at the University of Wales in Islamic theology. Dr. Bilal Phillips has written and translated and commented over 50 published books on various Islamic topics. He has also edited and published the 56-book Iman reading series for children and presented Islamic programs for a number of years on Riyadh Channel, Sharjah TV, as well as Peace TV, Huda TV, Islam Channel, and also on the Deen Show. So without any further delay, dear students, Dr. Bilal Phillips.
All praise is due to Allah, Lord of all worlds, and may prayers and peace be sent for His noble messenger, his family, and his companions, and whoever follows his sunnah, his path, until the day of resurrection. Today we live in a world filled with deafening noises, distractions, and countless demands, traps to catch our attention. Allah calls us to be mindful learners, people who reflect, focus, and make conscious decisions about what we see, hear, and learn, as well as how we use our acquired knowledge. The Quran asks us, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَمْ عَلَى قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا? Don't they reflect on the Quran, or are their hearts locked up? Mindful learning is not just about memorizing and retaining information. It is about reflection, contemplation, and application of the knowledge in a way that impacts on our hearts and our lives. Consequently, the Prophet often supplicated for beneficial knowledge and sought divine protection from useless knowledge. For example, he would often say, Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafi'a wa rizqan tayyiba wa amalan mutaqabbala. O Allah, I ask you for beneficial knowledge, good provision, and deeds that are accepted. And also he used to seek refuge from useless knowledge, saying, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min ilmin la yanfa. O Allah, I seek refuge in you from knowledge which has no benefit. This dua indicates that not all knowledge leads to actions which have a useful impact. What matters is truly beneficial knowledge, knowledge that guides us closer to Allah and helps us to serve Him by serving His creation, looking after their needs. Countries currently are racing to set up bases on the moon and Mars, when in 2024, the US Department of Housing and Urban Development stated that the number of homeless people in the US was 771,480. And in 2025, there was an 18% increase. So knowing that, is knowledge of the composition of dirt on Mars or the moon useful knowledge at this time? The theme of this semester's fall student orientation is from knowledge to its effect, from ilm to impact. It is a reminder that learning is not the end goal. Knowledge is a trust, and its true value is seen in its impact on our actions, how it shapes our character, strengthens our families, and how we who graduate benefit our societies. At the International Open University, we are blessed with the opportunity to study Islamic studies, to know Allah and His guidance, to study psychology and education, to nurture healthy minds and strong generations, business and economics to build ethical societies, IT and Arabic to connect and innovate and preserve our heritage. Every field, when studied and implemented through the lens of Islam, becomes a path to worship God and serve humanity. For nearly a decade and a half, IOU has been a beacon of online Islamic and Islamized education, connecting students across the globe. While the world struggled to adapt during COVID, IOU was already established, ready to deliver interactive, authentic, and accessible learning. But IOU is more than just a university. It is a movement calling us to refocus our lives, to rise above the many distractions, to anchor ourselves to beneficial knowledge, the knowledge that really matters. My brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, let this semester be more than just assignments and deadlines. Let it be a step on your journey from ilm to impact. Seek knowledge with sincerity, apply it with wisdom, and use it to make a difference in your family, your community, and the ummah at large. I ask Allah to bless your studies, guide your intentions, and make your learning a source of light in this world, for others, and for you in the next. Barakallahu fikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakallah khair, Dr. Bilal Phillips. We ask Allah to bless your efforts and preserve you for the IUU and the Ummah. Ameen. So, dear students, it is important that we familiarize ourselves with the category of our program, because the rules that are for each program are different. So you may go and check the name of your program at the top right-hand corner of your account after login. All the emails, all the reminders that are sent to you are dependent on the name of your program. So if it's applicable to you or not, you must be aware that the deadline that is being emailed to you, is it applied to you or not? So once you were enrolled into these IU courses, inshallah, as you must have been enrolled by now, you have access to the following study material, which will aid you in your studies. So this is a view of what is available to you as students on your course page. First of all, there's a course text that you have access to. It is available as an e-copy on your course dashboard, and it can be downloaded. For certain courses, you may have multiple number of course texts. Do make sure that you're utilizing it alongside the unit audios and the videos. So right after the course text, you may have noticed the number of audio and video lectures available to you. These are recorded sessions, and they contain the explanation of the topics that are covered in the book, or whatever the teacher might wish to bring across. The content of the audio and the video, it is the same. So the students sometimes prefer using the audio material while commuting. So it's up to you for ease of access. Moreover, you have the slides that are available after each recording module, and these slides may act as supplementary material while revising. Supplementary recorded sessions are also additional recordings that may be available on your course page, where your teacher is trying to help you understand the concept better. And these supplementary recorded sessions may go over and elaborate, but they may not be present for every course page. This is followed by the midterm and the final term study questions. These will help you gauge your understanding of the topic. Kindly note that this document does not give you access to the questions that will appear in the exams. It is only for practice. For the exams, you're advised to go through all the material listed above, the audios, the slides, the course text, and prepare independently of these study questions. So now a bit about the course evaluation. The course is evaluated in multiple ways, and the aggregate is recorded in the end. Each course work contributes to a certain fixed percentage to the final course grade. For every course, you're going to have one assignment, unless otherwise specified. So unless it's specified specifically for your own course, you're going to generally have only one assignment that needs to be uploaded. The MAIS program is course-based. The courses have research papers to be submitted, and all specific information can be accessed from the schedule that is available on your course page. Besides the assignments that are a form of assessment of the student's writing ability, you have, after every unit or module, some MCQs that after each module or unit you're meant to attempt, that is pertaining to the content that was covered in that particular video or audio. You should be knowing that which course category you fall under, so revised or non-revised, as the exam pattern is slightly different. For your particular exam, you're going to be checking out for all the new revised programs. The question paper has been designed such that it has part A and part B options. Part A has multiple choice questions, while part B has open-ended questions. So depending on the type of program that you're enrolled into, you need to check out if you'll be having two parts in your midterm exams and final term exams, or you're just going to be having part A MCQs only in your exam. All this information is going to be available on your course page. Once you click on the links provided, you'll be able to access the different parts that are available in that are going to be there in the exam, and inshallah, you'll be guided appropriately. So now the study method. These are the essentials on the course page, and they are there to ensure that effective learning takes place. So on the course page, you're going to see the event schedule or calendar, and this is something that is very crucial for you to familiarize yourself with, because that's going to assist you throughout your semester. Besides the calendar, every course page has a course syllabus section. This section offers a detailed analysis of what you'll be studying in the course. A careful breakdown of all the contents that you'll be studying during the semester is going to help you plan your studies, and you may use the syllabus to plan effectively for the semester. As mentioned before, each course is going to have the course textbook or course content available. You may download that material and read alongside the videos and the audios available. So once you are familiar with these content that is available on your course page, you may use the calendar for scheduling your personal time. You may have access to the syllabus. You may use it as a guideline for planning your semester, how much content you're going to read from the textbooks, and how much audios or videos you're going to listen through the week. And that is going to help you plan your semester effectively. You may also utilize the course notes section. The course notes section contains notes that are not written by IOU students, but they have been shared by dedicated students. So you may refer to them, but IOU is not liable for any errors that may be there in the notes. If you face any kind of concern or difficulty in understanding the material presented, you may go to the student discussion forum, post your query. You may ask and post your question in the Ask the Teacher forum. You may also go ahead and email the course faculty and resolve all queries that you may have. So here is now a bit of a discussion on your particular program. So this is the study method for undergraduate program. If you are enrolled in BA ALS or BSc IEBF or BBA program or the Bachelor's in Education or the BSc Psychology program or the higher certificate or the diplomas or the bridge program, this is how your revised program may be broken down. You are going to be having midterms and final term exams. The midterm and the final term exams each are going to have part A and part B. Part A, as mentioned before, is going to have 30 MCQs and is going to hold 60% of the weightage. Part B is going to hold open-ended questions and it's going to hold 40% of the weightage. The number of questions may vary from course to course. So this is a general outline, just generally how it is. But for a particular course, it may vary how your teacher may want to provide to the students. Now, both the midterm exams as well as the final term exams, you are required to attempt both at a registered exam center. We're going to talk in a few slides later how you will be able to register for exam center. So that's very crucial that you do register for an exam center before your midterms as well as your final terms. Now, the maximum duration which you can use to complete your program for full-time students, it is 6 years. The normal duration is 4 years, but you may have to take up to 2 additional years. So 6 whole years for completing the bachelor's program. And for part-time students, you can take up to 9 years, although the normal duration is 6 years. Kindly note that students will not be allowed to retake a particular module or course more than 3 times. So if you've not able to pass a particular course more than 3 times, you will not be allowed to retake that particular course. So kindly make sure that you're investing your time efficiently. Moreover, students who do not complete at least 25 credits from the first year curriculum within the first year calendar, they should not be allowed to continue the program. So kindly make sure that you're able to achieve this in your first year, inshallah. Now let's discuss a little bit about the graduate programs. The MAIS course-based and research program. So the maximum duration allowed to complete the graduate program is 2 years. And you can take up to maximum 4 years for completing this program. So the normal duration is 2 years, but you may take up to the maximum 4 years for completing your graduate program. Again, students will not be allowed to retake a particular course more than 3 times. A student who has not passed all the first year courses in the program after 2 years of full-time study will not be allowed to enroll in any course. So you must make sure that you're able to pass all the first year courses in the first 2 years of your full-time study. Again, the midterm and the final term exams, whenever they're applicable to your graduate program, they're required to be attempted at exam center. Now, this is a specific instruction dependent on your program. Some master's program do not have midterms or final terms in certain semesters. So this is a general instruction. You may go to your course page for more specific instruction pertaining to your specific program. Students must carefully check the course instructions to determine which course have both midterm and final term exams. Full-time registration will require students to register for a minimum of 40 credits and a maximum of 60 credits per academic semester. So as a graduate student who is registered as a full-time student, you'll be required to go for a course that fulfills these credit hour requirements. Moving ahead, the study method of the IAP program. The IAP is divided into 2 sessions named Fall Session 2025, Session 1, and Fall 2025 Session 2. Fall 2025 Session 1, it started on the 1st of September 2025, and Fall 2025 Session 2, it will begin on the last week of November 2025. So, as you must have noticed as a student in the IAP program, that your semester has two sessions, and this is very specific to the IAP program. If you are registered in the intensive Arabic program, you will have two sessions, and each session will have a midterm and a final term. So you are going to have in total two midterms and two final terms in your semester. In each session, you can study only one Arabic course at a time. Each course is a prerequisite to the next course. That means you can only enroll in IAP Arabic 102 after passing IAP Arabic 101 course. So make sure that you do not go ahead with enrolling in such a course that requires a prerequisite to be finished before that. The event schedule and the calendar for IAP it's very different from all the other programs. So all IAP students are advised to kindly make a note of that. Whenever emails are sent out to you, kindly make sure that it's pertaining to your particular program and respond to it as needed. The calendar is available on the dashboard, and we're going to have a look at it very soon when we're going to be the website. So let's have a brief overview how the dashboard and the course page looks like. So once you go to the portal and you logged yourself in, you are going to see multiple options available. Firstly, on the dashboard, this is the dashboard that you're going to be viewing on the course page when you've logged in. You're going to find an event schedule. And most importantly, towards the right-hand side, you're going to notice the clock, the UTC clock, in which all deadlines, all administrative purposes of IUU function. So you're going to see the UTC time and the date, and you must make sure that all your submissions according to UTC. You're also going to view your student ID, and below it your program you've been enrolled in. Kindly make sure of that, the name of the program and your student ID, as it's going to be required in all the different administrative purposes. On the right-hand side, you're going to see the small option, and it's going to be a block drawer, which is going, if you click on it, it's going to open up for you. The block drawer is going to contain a record of the deadlines that are coming up for your particular course, for your particular program. Moreover, it's going to have links for the library, the general IU discussion forum, and a view of the different accessibility options that you may have. Closing the blocked drawer, on your left hand side, there is a option to open the sidebar. Once you open the sidebar, it's going to give you a very quick access to all the courses that you may be enrolled in. So you may go and click on my courses, and it's going to give you a view of all the different courses that you may be enrolled, and you can easily access whichever course you are immediately wanting to go. Here's an other view of calendar. You may access the calendar via this page or return back to the dashboard as we are. The three dots on the top also provide a good option for you to quickly go for fee payment, any kind of credit transfer fee or any fee that you may be needing to pay, you can easily go from here. The exam centers that need to be registered, this is another place that you can access the exam center link easily. And the student support, which I'm going to talk a bit more about in towards the end of our session. Moving forward, below the dashboard, you can see a view of the calendar and whatever dates that are applicable to your program. You make a note of that while planning for your semester and be on top of your schedule, inshallah. As you move down, you're going to also again view uh, your courses that you can easily access from your dashboard as well. Here is a timeline, again reminding you what needs to be done. Next, we have an important section where all the administrative things that you need to do at the university, a section that can help you get to whichever place that you want to go is existing. So if you need to go for enrollment, the academic section offers enrollment options. If you need to drop a course, you can go to this administrative option and then you can drop a course there. If you would be submitting your community service hours, here is where you need to go. All the documents that you may be requiring to download, here is an option that you may use to go to that particular document and download from here. The exam center registration, this option offers you a place where you can go and register for your exam. You can also go and assess which exam centers are near your residence. You read the FAQs for general questions, and you may use the student committee for general discussions. Moving back to our presentation. So the semester cycle. Mm. So here you can see that you can access all the content of the semester on the portal. Your semester starts and it's followed by the orientation week, which is continuing. Soon the assignments are released and you may be headed towards your midterm exams. You may register for your exam centers, and that is upcoming for you. After your midterm exams are over, the assignment submission deadlines are due. You may submit your assignments. In case you have missed the earlier midterm exam window, you may opt for sitting in the late midterm exam. However, note that during the late midterm exams, 15% of your marks are going to be deducted. Moving ahead, you can register again for your final exams. And if you were unable to register or attempt the final exams in the normal window, a late final exam period is going to follow, in which you will be allowed to attempt the final exams, however, with a 15% mark deduction. So seeking support from the teachers. It's important, dear students, that you understand that the teachers are the main source whom you're going to be reaching out in case you have any query. You can email the teacher, you can message them and ask the question you may have on the Ask the Teacher forum. You can phone call them within the teacher's working hours. And all this information is going to be available on the box drawer once you go on your course page. Besides these, there are social media groups that are there to help you as a student to reach out to other students. So you may join the Telegram groups for your particular program, and for that, information can be available from the help desk. I would like to stress here that while it is not permissible for the course teacher to give you any correct answer of any quiz, any exam question, however, that does not mean that the teacher cannot help you concerning the modules or the test questions that you may have. So you're permitted to inform your teacher of any missed questions on a test and verify that if that is indeed correct. You may contact your teacher in case you need, but kindly make sure that you're not posting any queries, any questions, or any exam questions on either on the social media platform or on the forums that are there available. So now I would like you, dear students, to locate the clock on your own dashboard. I would like all of you to go to your portal, log in yourself, and please let me know in the chat that UTC time that you can see at the portal. So if you can type in the chat and locate what time it is right now according to the UTC on the website. Thank you very much. Yes, as posted. It's 13:39 according to UTC as located on the portal. So be mindful of that time because that's going to be how your deadlines are going to be aligned. So Jazakallah khair for sharing. So the exam centers, as we discussed previously, it is compulsory to attempt midterm and final term exams at IOU approved exam centers. As I showed you on the portal, you may go there and register for the upcoming midterm exams. Make sure that the exam center is registered and available. These IOU approved exam centers are separate organizations and they're not part of IOU. So they are just affiliate bodies and they're not in any way in control of the IOU university. Their students must make complete arrangements with the exam centers themselves. You must approach the exam center. If you are, for example, registering for an exam center, you may approach them, ask them about their availability. You can email them, you can check them by the phone numbers provided. You can actually go and physically visit the venue. You can ask them for their availability. So some of these exam centers, although their details are available on the web page, they may or may not be available for a certain window of exams that you are sitting into. So it's up to you, dear student, to contact these exam centers much prior to the exam window. And ask them for their availability during the dates that you wish to sit for the exams. Also ask them for the availability for your particular gender, if a proctor or a supervisor is going to be available for your particular gender, so that um, ease of access is made sure. If the particular exam center requires any fee, then it's on the student's end to be able to make sure that they all such things are carried out properly. If the exam center is available on weekend or weekdays, as per your availability, you need to check these out things out with the exam center. If you do not find a suitable exam center near you, there's also a possibility to register for a new exam center. For that, again, you need to go to the administrative section of the portal. You may be going there and registering for a new exam center. You may go and find out an existing venue, make necessary accommodations, clarify if they are available, and then provide their details and register them for an approval at the university portal. Once your exam center is approved, then you may go ahead and sit for your exam at the newly accepted exam center. So now, dear students, an important part of the studies at IOU is assignments and research work. Remember that you're not researchers, but your research begins now. Although asking questions is okay and helpful, but as a researcher, you should begin by trying to find the answers to queries yourself by searching for them. And this is a very important part of our studies at IOU. Especially this goes for all the graduate programs or the master's programs. They consist of a major portion of your overall grade, which is made up by all the research work that you're going to be handing into. And even for the undergrad students, each course is going to have an assignment, and that is going to take up a big part of your grade. So it's very important that you put research into your assignments, and you make sure that you just using that skill, developing that skill, because it's going to be very helpful for your future as well. So we have a Telegram group for assignment and research papers for brothers and sisters. And if you wish to be added to these groups, you may again contact the help desk, and they're going to be helping you being added to one. So moving on, how can you manage your time at the online studies at IAU? So first things first, as you begin this semester, it's important that you renew your attention. As Dr. Bilal Phillips mentioned in his message, that reflect and renew your intention. Remind yourself of who you are and why you're doing this, and what you plan to get out of this academic journey. Ensure that you're connecting with your vision back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that your act of seeking knowledge, it transforms into an act of ibadah. Once you've renewed your intention, move forward and prepare a schedule. You've been provided with the course syllabus, you've been provided with the calendars, you've been provided with the event schedules, and all that information is going to help you prepare a schedule for yourself, uh, so that you can ace the requirements of that particular course depending on the time you have and the time that is remaining before the midterms and the assignment deadline. Make sure you use calendars for that, make to-do lists, and you're able to have a good schedule for yourself. On the calendar that you'll be using, make sure you're marking all the important dates. Your personal calendar can also have all the dates, deadlines specifically in UTC, and use them to the benefit of yours, so that you're reminded well ahead of time and you're not missing any deadlines towards the end. Dear students, it's important to prioritize your physical and mental health while you're studying at IUU. Since IUU offers a completely online platform, we ask you to take a lot of breaks so you're able to focus and take care of your health and well-being effectively. Um, Practice stress management skills in case you're unable to deal with the piling up work or other responsibilities that you may have. Um, you can take outdoor walks, speak to your friends, contact the student counselor available at IUU in case you're facing any difficulty. So now let's move on, and after this discussion of a bit of how you can manage your time, let's me share some information about the Students Affairs Office. Here at the Students Affairs Office, we strive to engage in all aspects of your lives and collaborate with the students, with the faculty, staff, the alumni, and others, and deliver key services to support the students. So we aim to offer programs and services at the Student Support Office so that we can support optimal growth of students and enhance intellectual, social, religious, and academic development by providing opportunities for students to experience education and explore interests beyond the classroom. We also aim to increase student engagement at the university by initiating activities, by providing quality services, programs, reminder emails, and therefore we support a diverse community of learners from all around the world to enhance your student life here and create opportunities and develop our students as ethical and responsible leaders who can make positive impact in the community. So various offices of SAO are there for you to provide seamless study experience. You may contact the Student Information and Support Center. Uh, for that, you may use the help desk email at helpdesk@iou.edu.dm whenever you have a query pertaining to administrative things. You can also contact the student success team. You can schedule an appointment or live call using WhatsApp. You may also contact the student counselor. You also have access to the Telegram groups that are organized for connection purposes. Students with special needs are also catered. So if you have a need for a special accommodation, do not hesitate to reach out to the student counselor office and you'll be guided appropriately. All the emails for these offices are available on the portal, or you may ask the help desk to provide you the connection point. Again, the Telegram groups that have been made available, as previously mentioned, you may contact them also for support from other students and peers. So now we also have a student representative council and the local student committees. The student representatives are they're available to provide study support via Telegram department groups. So if you are in a Telegram group, you're going to find a student representative there, and you may contact them for any specific query that you may have. You can also join the social media Telegram groups, the student support groups, and the timely reminders that are sent there may assist you in your program. If you wish to join your student committee, you may contact the SC officer too at iuu.edu.dem, and they're going to guide you further how you can be part of the local student committee and provide support to peer students. To reach out to our representatives and student committees, you may go to www.iou.edu.dm/representatives, and you may find further information there. So now the university has a certain code of conduct and complaint procedure, and I would like at this point to guide you a bit about this code of conduct. So, the goal at IOU is to strive for all members, administrative, staff, students, or alumni to have a positive and beneficial experience while being affiliated with IOU. But we do realize that shaitan never rests. So, stirring up animosity, especially among Muslim brothers and sisters, is one way for shaitan to attain the goal of separating believers from following the deen. So, therefore, it's very essential that we stick to the code of conduct to promote a positive and balanced environment, whether it be on Telegram, whether it be on emails, whether it be on forums, whether you're engaging with other students or teachers. So at IU, we've outlined some detailed protocols with regards to studies and examinations, social media and communication with the faculty, and live webinars. So please go and familiarize yourself with the code of conduct, which it's accessible in the student support dashboard. For any students, if these rules are not abided by, strict disciplinary action shall be taken. So kindly make sure that you're familiarized with it to prevent any such act from happening. In case you have your own complaint or an issue that you wish to it to be heard, you may familiarize yourself with the grievance policy that is outlined again on the student's code of conduct page. If you have any complaint against any student or staff or faculty member, you should first try to resolve the issue within the relevant department with the relevant person through polite discussion. We clearly encourage that. If that does not resolve the issue, then you can report an academic grievance against any faculty member through the teacher complaint portal. Non-academic grievance can also be brought to the attention of the Secretary of the Disciplinary and Grievance Committee by sending an email to grievances@iou.edu.dm. So these are some policies in place to help you as a student in case you may be facing any inappropriate activity at the university. So we wish to remind our students that feedback is important. So if you can take a moment now and share your feedback for the orientation session, uh, there's going to be a link in the chat that is going to be posted. I require you to use that link and give us a short feedback on how the orientation session was for you. It's going to be a short form that is going to require your feedback and any suggestions, any helpful guidelines that you may have for the university. Kindly do go ahead and share here. The link is going to be posted in the live chat of YouTube. So the link to the feedback form is now available. Kindly take a few minutes and do share your valuable feedback with us. So now we are looking forward to the forms that you have filled and the feedback that you have provided us. We're very grateful for your presence, and I hope this session was beneficial for you. If you have any queries, your queries are going to be addressed now. You're going to have a short Q&A session with Sister Safa, the SISC officer. So over to you now, Sister Safa. You may post the questions that you may have in the chat. And if you have any specific queries, the questions are going to be addressed live right now.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Am I audible?
Perfectly. Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Jazakallah khair for joining us. Inshallah, you may address the queries.
Barakallah. Thank you for confirming. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem. All right, let's begin inshallah. We have our first question. Assalamu alaikum. Since enrolled almost a month late, do you have any tips on how one can catch up with this syllabus? Yes, sure. First of all, I would recommend you to, count the number of modules that you have, modules or lectures, that you have to cover before the midterm exams. So if you're enrolled in 2 or 3 courses, I'm not sure if you're enrolled in 4 to 6 courses, so or maybe 7, 8. So what you can do is count the number of lectures that you have to before the midterm exam and then add them all up together. For example, if your one course has 15 lectures to cover, the other one has 16, then the third one has 14 or maybe 15. So let's say you have, for example, 3 courses, then your total lectures would be 45. Now you can divide the days that you're left with, and that would give you the average number of lectures you are supposed to each can prepare for your exams in time, inshallah. You would have your assignments in the middle as well because those have been released. So if you can, do a little extra hard work to cover up your lectures so you can start working on assignments as well, that would be better. But you can prioritize your lectures at the moment and you can take your tests. The way how can you confirm if you're ready is you can take the test every day. For example, if your count comes out that you're supposed to do 2 or 3 lectures, then you can attempt that 3 lectures tests per day. You must take those tests, that way you can mark that you're done with it, and that way you can inshallah cover it. If you for example, if it happens that you miss one day, then you would have to add those lectures to the next day and cover that up. You would be required to do a little hard work, but with the hard work, inshallah. So I hope that's helpful. Okay, we have another question. I too started late, but noticed that some exams, like for Akida, there were questions on the module that weren't covered in the module, but the next I went over and double checked and I noticed it wasn't. If you're sure that the answer or the question did not come from the lecture, then you can raise a MCQ error report for that, but make sure that you have gone through the lecture carefully and you have highlighted it. It's not possible that the question is not covered, but in case if it's true, then you can always raise it on the MCQ error reporting portal, which Sister Shahana had shared during the orientation. I hope that you were able to catch it up. Sometimes it happens that a question, for example, if you feel like that the question that came in lecture 1 is actually being taught in lecture 2, you can raise that too, but you have to present proof. Always submit your MCQ error report with a proof so that it can be validated. Without proof, the request does not get accepted. I hope that answers your question, inshallah. The only one with the issue, and I feel like I'm already behind to go over and address each one. If you are finding multiple lectures that way, then I would recommend you to schedule an appointment with the student counselor and you can discuss with her, inshallah. We have another question that I also joined late and some modules have around 40 lectures each. So how would you approach this? I am assuming that you're probably from a master's program, maybe. And if that's the case, then you can check how many lectures you are required to do before the midterms. You usually have half lectures to do before the midterms. So in your case, it would be 20 lectures. You can compile all the lectures, like for all courses. Maybe you're enrolled in just one course, or maybe you have 2 or 3 courses. So you can add that up and inshallah cover it, inshallah. Okay, never mind. There's like 10 lectures for the first semester. I did not quite catch that, but I hope that you were able to figure it out, inshallah. Okay, we have another question. I cannot find the links to the live sessions on the course. Live session is empty. Where may I find this? Live session would be nice to interact with the lecturer. Um, you have to first check if your course really has a live session because the lectures are recorded. All mostly like 99% are recorded, except for a few courses that go over with a live session. So if that's the case, then your teacher must have posted an announcement on the course forum. You can go over to there and find it. If you're still not sure, you can email your course teacher to check with her if there are any live sessions going on. If you're still not able to find that, then you can email us to help us. And there are actually revision live sessions, one before midterms and one before finals. So those will be posted as well. Brother Ramis, oh right, you have asked about the midnight time. If you are, like I mentioned, that you have recorded lectures, so it wouldn't be an issue, inshallah. You can attend the classes anytime that is convenient to you, and apart from the, for example, this is the orientation going on, you can access the recording of it as well. But there are some classes, for example, if your teacher has posted an announcement about the revision live session, and you can arrange beforehand because they announce it a few days before the session is held. So you can map the time with your local timing and schedule it and see if you can attend it and make time for that one time lecture. Apart from that, it wouldn't be an issue, inshallah. Okay, another question we have is, will it be possible to increase the frequency of live sessions for each course? Currently, we generally have live once a month, as far as I know. I think once a week will be more effective. Yes, I would appreciate the feedback, and we have received that. And as you are aware that our student base is from around the world, and everybody has a different time zone. Sometimes they may be at maybe it's midnight time at their place. Somebody maybe at they are at workplace, and maybe somebody is further time, etc. So it can get difficult for them, and we have received requests mostly to have the recorded lectures. So the revision session that is held is there, and again you can check with your course teacher for personal guidance. So yeah, I hope that's helpful, inshallah. Okay, we have another question is, what if an exam center is not available and we want a house that is used as a masjid, as a venue to do the exam? As long as the place you're choosing follows the exam rules, the eligibility rules, you can submit it, or you can discuss with the center manager, Sister Isma. You can email her at centers@iou.edu.gm, and you can discuss with her if the place you're going to suggest and you're not sure if it fulfills the requirement. You can discuss with her and she will let you know, inshallah. Are we required to do a lesson from each course every day, or just focus on one course? It depends on your schedule. For example, 1 month has almost passed. There's a few days left for September to close. And after that, there are like 1 month of October and 1 week of November for you to prepare for your midterms. comes. So you can check how many lectures you are left with and how many days you are left with. So you can add them up and check out how many lectures you need to do per day. You can also schedule it such that you can take a break, like you can study maybe 4 days a week and you can skip one day, something like that, depending on how you can manage it. So that depends totally on you how you're going to manage, inshallah. And just the only thing you need to make sure is to you have to follow the deadlines. I hope that answers that question. um, will there be another live session for orientation design specifically for each degree major? For the degrees, there are sessions, but they are held only, for only once at the beginning of the semester. And you would have received the link for your program. The orientation session, that is the one we are currently holding, is the third one. And there wouldn't be any more after this one. So if you need something, you can just always watch the recording, or you can always reach us to help us for any questions. Okay, it's nice to know that I was able to help, Alhamdulillah. Okay, we have another question. You know how at the end of a lecture there is a quiz and a test. Is it possible to attempt the quiz multiple times to improve each time with my grade? No, you cannot re-attempt a test, and there's only one attempt allowed. Before you start to attempt it, there will be a message indicating that there will be only one attempt, and regardless of the scores you get, you cannot get a second attempt unless you had a network issue and the page suddenly closed up and none of your answers got recorded. So something like that, you can request a reset. Apart from that, a reset is not allowed. And the grades get added to your course total, so you should work hard and work on your lectures, make notes, and then start the test. Barakallahu feek, brother Remis. How do we prove? Afra, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your question. Have you asked a question before? Let me check. Uh, okay, you were referring to the MCQ error. How do we prove? For example, there MCQ error reports get accepted when there is a proof. For example, in a course, in a lecture test, a question came that was there in the course, but the answer you marked got incorrect, whereas that answer was the correct one. So what you're going to do is you're going to go back to the course, either the lecture or the books, like the PDF reading material. If it's a reading material in which that line is mentioned, you're going to highlight it, take a screenshot, mention the page number in your comment on the application, and then write it. And if it's a video in which the teacher mentioned the answer, then you are going to mention in your comments in the application that the lecturer said this is in this from this time to that time. That's how you can prove it. But for the one you're mentioning, there's unlikely any situation that a question comes which is not taught in the course. So I would recommend you to discuss it with the teacher, inshallah. Uh, okay, you're welcome. Alhamdulillah. What is the passing grade? Passing grade is 50 per course, and you can check the evaluation scheme that is placed on the right side panel. And Sister Shahana would have shared it in the orientation. You can go back to the recording and check it. That evaluation section is important as it shows you how much of your contribution is from your finals, from your midterms, from your tests. So finals contribute most of the section marks, for example, 40% in bachelor's. And in masters, the percentage depends because they have research papers. So something like that. What matters is the total contribution that you are scoring adds up to 50. And that's how you can decide and tell how much you're scoring. And as long as you score a grade of 50, you're not going to have to repeat that course. I hope that answers your question. Sister Iman, Barakallahu Feek. We do not have any more questions at the moment, so let's wait for 3 more minutes, inshallah. And if we do not get any more questions, we shall close the session. For those currently listening, I would like to suggest about two important events, that is the assignments and the exam center. Your exam center registration is now open, and you may go there to read the guidelines, to discuss the availability with your centers before registering, so you are well prepared, inshallah. And the assignments, you can go to your lectures and look at the questions and get familiarized with the question, start preparing it, start doing research on it to make, you can start creating drafts, like a rough draft where you collect information and then in the end you can compile it. We have a question. Can you tell me about adding the Arabic language courses? Could you clarify exactly what are you referring to regarding adding Arabic language courses? Are you enrolled right now, or if you are enrolled, have you joined some other program? Or if you are referring to an Arabic course inside your curriculum, your program's curriculum. Okay, until brother sends the question again, I have asked we can resume the discussion about assignments. In the assignments, when you are going to check, make sure that you have read the guidelines shared by your course teacher. For example, the formatting style, the requirement, the citation, the references, anything your teacher has mentioned, the word count, the places where you can do the research. For example, you cannot take any research material from Wikipedia, it doesn't get accepted. And there is plagiarism. Your work should be purely your own, and things like that, inshallah. Brother, regarding your Arabic language question, if I have been waiting, but if you are, if I wasn't able to answer your question, you can inshallah email us your complete question to the help desk, because I'm not certain what are you referring to, and we can get back to you, inshallah. I guess that's all about the question answer session. See you another time, inshallah. Take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Over to you, Sister Shahana.
Jazakallah khair, sister, for answering some very crucial questions. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you abundantly. Ameen. So, as we end our session, we give thanks first to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for blessing us with the opportunity to learn about His deen without having to travel across the earth for knowledge. This is indeed a huge blessing, and we thank Dr. Bilal Phillips for conceptualizing affordable online Islamic education and bringing it to the Ummah. We express our gratitude to all of the shuyukh who teach Islamic knowledge and add Islamic perspective to secular knowledge, making it relevant to the Ummah. Thanks to all of you and for attending and being part of the IOU family. And thanks to all of IOU's behind the scenes staff and volunteers who keep IOU online and running. May Allah bless your efforts and increase your reward. Ameen. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.